let's watch some of this tape. I think I put on here initially. I mean, I didn't put all of them. Let's just watch this. You go through this. Okay, you got time. Look where all your guys are. Nobody's just starting their breaks. Okay, and you've got one guy rushing free because the Patriots are, if anything, are with Mayo now after Belichick, a really good defensive football team, and had the numerical advantage in the run and pass game so many times in this football game. I don't know if it's because they don't know how to adjust. I don't know if it's, a lot of it has to do with just the details of, the motions and the timing of the snap count and everything. It just doesn't look right. But that's a tough ask for anybody. Go back there and just dodge bullets. Now we got spinner look. Spinner being 99 stand up, and they're just going to run like a T and bring the linebacker around. And he's really spying Caleb Williams. He ends up coming like they run around, and you just see the left tackle, who's a backup guy, and shouldn't be in the game. Really struggles with. I mean, the left side, they struggle with man blocking. They struggle in the run game. They struggle with switching off stunts, and they struggle with pressures. It's all over the tape. So here's sack number 2. Got that stand-up spinner again at 99. Tony Wise comes over and, he's in this fight-on USC moment. I'm talking about Caleb Williams now. He thinks he's back at SC, just being able to sling this around, holding in the pocket. Like, this is a good pocket. Get rid of the football. But he has a really difficult time holding on to it too long. Maybe I don't know if he's some of the times he's in deeper evolving routes. Some of the time he's not hitting his first look. He's looking for something more. But this is just, if you're the right tackle, you're going like, come on, man, 9 sacks, but that shouldn't be a sack. Just a palms up moment here from the center. What do I mean by that? So they've clearly called this a Roger. Something that starts with an R. The center's going to step to the right. The guard knows it. So the guard oversets on 99, so he'll go in and block the tackle. He can help the right. Get blocked by the center. He can help the right tackle. But in a palms up moment, the center just takes off, goes the other way. Guard gets beat inside, another sack. You're just going like, what are we doing? Palms up, boys. Too easy. They got 6 up. And this is being young, being a rookie. Now they went in motion, and you see that the safety over, or is that the free safety over? Is that the free safety? Well, the small guy over on the right side didn't go anywhere. In fact, he just stayed on the line of scrimmage. He's coming. Okay. Now, just because they brought 21 over here to cover up 19, on the backside they're coming. Okay. So what do? They go full slide and cover up everybody out to the slot. They don't account for 48, and they have the back account for the outside guy. So this is a protection issue, but with an experienced quarterback, this is something that's very easy to pick up. If you just watch the left tackle here, though. Excuse me, not the left tackle, the left guard. They do a good job of picking this up. Okay. Problem is, there's just one too many. So you got to know, the quarterback has to know, hot, I'm out. If they got more than we got, I got to get rid of the football. So they go motion over. 48's going, get over there. This is the free safety for the Patriots, 15. Okay? This is just simple math. Right now, if we full slide it, we don't need to full slide to 24. We can full slide to 48 and keep this tight. because he's the most dangerous guy. They don't do it, or at least the left tackle doesn't do it. Late, getting back around, should never happen. That's just bad ball. Details matter. So they're running a sprint out because they want to protect their quarterback. Guard steps underneath himself. 99's charging the B gap. Gets in the backfield, holds him up. Got stopped. Chase gets him. Another sack. So, I mean, it's just, when's enough? And I guess we get into some more things. You see the footwork by the center here. Look, if I'm Kenny Clark, I'm real. If I'm anybody on the defensive line, I'm real excited about this. I'm real excited about this. At least this isn't a sack. We got a handoff or a tackle for loss. I mean, we go under center play action. You're thinking, oh, this is fantastic. Now you got three guys that are open in the National Football League here. And I said Preston's probably mad about this. Preston, he asked for a trade. I didn't know that he asked for it, but he's in Pittsburgh now. But this is probably a game he'd like to be there because this guy holds the football and they don't have anybody competent to block over on that side of it. I mean, this is just, you just put in a little bit of effort, you're going to get some numbers here. Now, what? No one's moving. This is what was interesting to me watching this game. So they're in 12. They bring over to go to a trips look here. They get the F tight end hipped off. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. This isn't the trips look. That's just the tight end. But no one's moving across. They're not interested at all. All the numbers are to the left. So again, when you start talking about, why do guys lose their jobs? This is why coaches get fired. Because 48, at no point during this, 48 think that Moore was going to get the ball, that there was going to be any kind of action that would numerically threaten his left, the offense's right. So they've seen something, whether it's the detail of how he goes in motion, his body posture, his position, his demeanor, the timing, where the ball's being snapped, all of these things. Maybe he has a tell on the offensive line. Maybe the back looks a certain way, but something is wrong here because it should not be this obvious that they're going to run the ball to the defense's right. Cut out here. Swift's good back. Swift is good back. Does some good things. You don't tackle in the alley, you got problems. He gave us problems last year because of it. They go motion across here, and you're kind of in no man's land. I'm talking about the linebacker at the top of the screen in between the 50 and the hash mark. You get yourself in this position. You get a great double team by the left guard and left tackle. You get Swift out here. He can cut vertical real fast. This is where he gets a lot of his yards in this game, just vertical cutting. But I don't think overall that's something that the Packers are going to have to worry about. The priority is going to be stop him, take away the early runs. Take away the quick throws, and then just rush. I don't know how much pressure you need to bring. We'll see. We'll see how the new pass rush does without Preston Smith. But I think defensively, I think it's just a nightmare situation for the Chicago Bears right now. I'll be interested to see if they come in. The passing coordinator, the passing game is not very good. So if the passing coordinator is coming in to be offensive coordinator, and you start going, well, okay, is there something that you wanted to do that you're not doing? Are you gonna make a lot of those guys aren't on quick routes. When they are on quick routes, DJ Moore's great. I mean, they have great players. It doesn't seem like they're using to their full potential. I do have some listener questions. Just get a couple of them before we get out of here. Wilson, Cooper, and McDuffie have been better than Clay. First round pick stays on the field. This is a weird NFL thing for me. Would love to hear your take on how the guys react to such a. I think it's probably an eye roll. If you think you're playing better than the guy in front of you, the good guy in front of you is drafted earlier, and so he's playing. 99% of the guys, it's just an eye roll. Maybe it's to go in and talk to coach like, hey, I'm grading out about what the hell's going on. And most times they'll, listen, the problem with the NFL is they'll be honest with Like, Isaiah McDuffie goes in there and says, "Hey, I'm playing better than he is. What's the deal?" They'll be like, "Well, he's a first round pick, and he's 6'3", 240 whatever pounds, runs a 4.5. He athletically his ceiling is really really high. So that carries weight, and there's some things that maybe he does in the pass game that we don't talk about as much that are really positive that you're beautiful. So they'll be brutally honest. It is difficult if you're getting a grade sheet back every week, and it says like my grade's a lot higher than your grade, but we don't know that for sure because you never really know. I certainly haven't gone through this with a fine tooth comb and said, okay, this is the defensive run, this is the expectation for this player, this is what he's doing a good job. But I think if we all anecdotally look at the tape, I would agree with you. Do you think the Packers are trying to feed too many mouths on offense? No, I do not. I do think that they went away from the run last game earlier than they needed to. There's some things going around that, particularly because of the weather. I think dropping back 42 times is excessive in that kind of game with that kind of weather. The game was still close, even at halftime when he throws the pick six at 17-3. I think you still have a chance to be a little bit more balanced. But I said this before. Matt LaFleur has done such a great job this year that whatever he does, you kind of got to just roll with because it has really, really been special. And I think he's done a fantastic job of identifying the different parts of each receiver's game or tight end's game or running back's game that they do really, really well at exploiting the defense. So I'm nothing but complimentary with him this year. He's done fantastic. How would you guide a physically gifted athlete who faces challenges with the mental aspects of the game, including recall, identification, and reaction to visual stimuli in the field? Wow. Oh, that is a great question. I treat him like I treat every other athlete. Very simply, in football, it's a confrontational sport. So what you're trying to teach guys is you need them to be really good at the basics. What we call best at the basics. You need to be the best at the basics of the sport. So for, let's say, a defensive player, the basics are block destruction, tackling, and getting to your drops, if you're like a linebacker, for example. Okay. The rest of it is decision making, aggressiveness, and really being able to learn how to identify what we just call your external cues. So your cues are anything that you see, smell, hear, feel that give you input about your world, right? So the band playing is a cue, the scoreboard is a cue, the kind of grass that's on the ground is a cue, if it's slippery or not. You want the relative external cues. So you want to know the down and distance, the formation, the personnel group, the history, what all the tips, tells, and tendencies. What you're trying to do is take all that information, pre-snap, and process it as fast as you can so you can become a read and react athlete. So if you want to improve that process, what you have to do is continue to work on the fundamentals so they become automatic so you don't waste brain power thinking how to execute something. I don't want to think about how to tackle. I just want to be able to go. I see it, I do it. So you want to become a read and react athlete from that standpoint. And then you just have to put yourself in the situations and understand that your Rolodex is constantly moving and updating. So I see something, I remember this formation, here's the tendency, I double check it with the guard stance or something like that. I read my keys and I just go. And I had to rep that and rep that. That's why people watch so much tape, because all that information helps you process information faster, becoming a better read and react athlete. So that's the short of it. Or maybe that was too long. I don't know. Anyways, listen, guys, this is going to be, hopefully this is a game, there's really two keys to this game for me. Number one, offensively, I would start every series under center. And I would have a tag on every run or every pass, so you can go run or pass, because these guys show two. If they come down, you can have an answer. If you motion, like we said before, get out of the huddle early, get your motions in, make your calls and checks, and run. Stick to the run. I think it helps Jordan Love. Under center play action certainly is effective against this team, and it cuts down his reads. It's throws that he likes to make, throws that he's good at making. And then defensively, attack the left side of their offensive line, whether it's a single rush, whether it's pressure, whether it's run, whether it's pass. Because Caleb Williams doesn't like pressure coming from that side. One, he's holding the ball. Two, And unfortunately for those guys, they're just not quite ready for prime time. And we should expect anybody who lines up over there for a consistent amount of reps should be winning consistently. That's just a fact of life. Maybe those guys get better. I'm an offensive lineman, so I know what the struggle feels like. But if you're not playing well, you're going to get exposed. They should get exposed. So enjoy the game, guys. Hit me up, MikeWall68, with any questions, comments, anything about the show. Please subscribe and review.